Rain, rain, rain. The last 2 days just non-stop rain. Stopped for a little bit last night and I went outside to go to watch the football. As I opened the door there was flies everywhere. All on the ground, going up the walls, trying to get into the room and everything. All these weird kind of like little bugs with like flappy wings and all. And then as I was going down the stairwell, there was a big massive gecko about that size. All psychedelic colours and all, staring right at me as I went down the stairs. Scared as shit, man. And you know what else the rain brings out? The mosquitoes. This is very important now, guys, right? I'm putting a caution out here to you, right? First-hand experience. Be very, very careful when it comes to mosquitoes over in this part of the world. Wear repellent. Always have tiger balm handy in case you get bitten, you know, because that just burns the bite away, takes away the itch. The bite doesn't come back, burns it totally off. Because what happened to me, I'll tell you, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to me. Was when I got dengue fever. I swear to God, man. It was about 5 years ago. I went to Koh Phi Phi with one of my friends from Ireland who was living in Bangkok. He's a teacher, and it was the week of my birthday. We decided to go to Koh Phi Phi for 5 days just to party up for my birthday. Now this guy's a headbanger, you know. He'd drink toilet cleaner, he would. So for 5 days and 5 nights we were just constantly on the session, drunk, drinking all the time. If we weren't hungover, we were drunk, simple as that. And we were staying in these crappy little bamboo huts, man. Oh, I swear to God, man. You wouldn't even put dogs inside it. Because Koh Phi Phi, it's so expensive. It's a little tiny island and it's just rammed with tourists. So like everywhere is just mad expensive. And we were decided like do everything on a budget, you know what I mean? So like the place we were staying in, it was terrible, like, you know what I mean? There was just a fan, little bamboo huts, and you had a mosquito net, you know? And I'm not blaming the accommodation. I'm gonna put myself out there and, you know, I'm gonna blame myself, you know what I mean? Like I was very careless and irresponsible, you know what I mean? I was just drinking all the time. I wouldn't go to the pharmacy and get any mosquito spray or anything, and in the middle of the night when I was getting bitten, you know what I mean, I was just too drunk and lazy, you know what I mean, I wouldn't rub any tiger balm myself. I'd rather go sleep, you know, scratch myself while I was sleeping. I'd be waking up and all in the middle of the night and seeing these big mad mosquitoes on my shoulder biting into me. It's horrible. And then it was just one bite after another, you know what I mean? It was terrible, you know what I mean? I wasn't putting my mosquito net on properly at night time when I was going to sleep. Because I just fall in the door and I'd pass out. And then after the trip, we went back to Bangkok. And I started coming down feeling a bit under the weather, you know? But then that night, I swear to God, it was the longest night of my life. It was like, did you ever see Trainspotting? When Ewan McGregor's character, he's going through cold Turkey and he's seeing the baby walking along the ceiling and its head flipping around and he's having all these nightmares and everything. It was. I can imagine this is probably how he felt, the way I felt that night. I was just so uncomfortable. I was severely agitated. I had a really high temperature, but at the same time I was shivering. I couldn't get easy on the bed, couldn't sleep. Severe headaches, pains in my eyes, pains in my joints, just really nausea. And then when I'd go to the bathroom, I'd have like severe diarrhea and vomiting at the same time. Oh, it was horrible. It was really bad. And then the next morning, you know what I mean, I was just lifeless. I really felt I was going to die, and I just hadn't got the enthusiasm to do anything about it. I was happy enough to just lay there and die. It was crazy, and I was having all these like negative thoughts going through my head saying, this is it, I'm gonna die. And it was like that for about 2 days, maybe even 3 days. Just lifeless on the couch, having horrible sleeps at night. I didn't know what was wrong with me, man. I had no idea. I didn't even have the energy to think. You know, I just wanted to lay there comatose in bits. But then I eventually started coming around, you know, after about 2 or 3 days. And I started getting up and about more, you know, being able to walk around, and I decided, right, I think I'm getting better. I better go get some good food and, you know, get my immune system back alive and kicking again. So I started going to the supermarket and buying, you know, fruits and vegetables and making meals that I'd normally eat back home. You know, stuff that my body's really used to. So I didn't trust the Thai food, you know. I thought maybe, that's not enough for me, you know. I'm a stranger in a foreign land. I better, like, you know, put into my body what it knows. And I started feeling better again then after a few good, you know, hearty meals. And I thought I was better, but I wasn't. One night I was taking off my top and I looked at my body, and I had this rash all over my body, going around my back, around my ribs, and it really freaked me out. I thought I might have meningitis or something like that. But I went to good old Google and I typed in all the symptoms, what happened to me, and a big picture of a mosquito comes up. And I just remembered the trip to Koh Phi Phi and all them nights in the little bamboo hut, all the mosquitoes biting into me and me not wearing enough repellent. I thought, that's what it was dengue fever. Because I remember an English lad told me that he got it and how horrible it was. So that triggered in me memory. I says, that's what it was, I had dengue fever. And I read like all the you know, how to treat it, and like you can't treat it, you just have to ride it out. So I was thinking, well, I'm feeling better now, I'm back eating and walking about. I think I'm over the worst of it, you know what I mean? Just once this rash goes away. So after a couple of days the rash went away. I thought, lovely, I'm okay now. But it wasn't. Apparently, like, it stays in your system for like another 3 or 4 weeks at least. You know, your body's still a bit shell shocked from it, but you don't know. So you still have to be very careful with like how you treat your system. But I didn't know that. I just went on as normal. I had to go to Cambodia to do a visa run, and I decided to make a trip out of it. You know, I went to Siem Reap and Phnom Penh for a few days, and you know, just checked out Cambodia, and you know, did what holidaymakers usually do, and you know, relaxed in the day. We did a bit of sightseeing, and then went drinking at night. And when I'd go drinking at night, I just found I'd be getting sick after a couple of beers. That normally doesn't happen to me. I'd be just puking up like. And then like the next day, like I'd be like, the hangover would hit me like about 100 times harder than what it normally would. I'd be like, this is not right, this is weird, like, you know what I mean? And then I got back to Bangkok, and I made friends with this English lad who was mad into horse racing. Like myself, I'm not really into it anymore, I was back then. I remember he was telling me about the horse track in Bangkok, and that we should check it out. Actually really good, you should go to sometime. I didn't go on this time, but like afterwards I made sure that I hooked up with him. I actually really recommend that, the horse track in Bangkok. But the night before I was to go to the horse track with him, I was getting really bad diarrhea, really bad, and I was getting pains around my gut. You know what I mean? And I noticed like around my belly button it was starting to swell out, it was starting to pump like a heart. Like, this is not right, this is not right. So the next morning, you know, I rang him. I said, "Here, listen, I can't go to the horse track. You know, I had a really bad night last night. Got really bad diarrhea, and like I wouldn't be good company. You know what I mean?" And he was like, yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. We go another time." And we did go another time. And as I say, once again, really good. But as the day went on, you know, my friend who I was staying with, him and another girl who lived there also, they were off on the weekend. They went to Koh Samet for the weekend, so I was home alone in the apartment. And the little swelling around my belly button area just started getting bigger and bigger, and I just started noticing the pain inside. It would just getting more intense, and it really started beating like a fucking heart. Or you know when you get like a sore thumb, when you smack your thumb with a hammer, gets really big and bright and red and starts pumping like mad. That's what it was like. It actually looked like something was going to pop in there. And I started freaking out, man. I was like, oh, what the hell's going on here? And the pain got really bad, like. And so I was on my own in this house, and then I'm like, says, fuck this, man. I need to call an ambulance. I need to go to the hospital, man. The pain was unreal. So I got on the computer. I was looking for the emergency number in Bangkok. And I found it. I googled it and I found it, and nobody could speak any English. They were just like Thai people. I says, any English? And they were like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, what the hell, man. So I started googling hospitals in Bangkok, and I saw one of them. I forget the name of it, but I thought that must be a main hospital. I dialed the number and no English. And I saw another one called BNH. I was thinking that must be Bangkok National Hospital. Yeah, I'll give that a try. So I rang them up, and they had someone who spoke English, and I said to them, here, listen, I need an ambulance. I'm in a lot of pain here, like all around my belly button, around my abdomen area. It's at the swelling out so much, and it's beating like a heart, and the pain inside is just, it's unbearable. I said, okay, we'll send somebody right away, don't worry. So they sent an ambulance, and before anything they asked for my passport. I was like, here, take my passport, just get me to the hospital. And then when they got me to the hospital, they hooked me up to a drip and everything, and they said, do you have health insurance? I said, yeah, I have health insurance. And I gave them a number that I had, a card that I had in my wallet. And they hooked me up, and I think they found out what was wrong with me. They gave me some medication, and the medication just knocked me for six. I was just out like a light. They brought me to a bed. And I remember, like, when I was getting wheeled through the hospital, it was really nice, man. It was like a 5-star hotel. It was beautiful. I was like, wow, this place is sweet. And I was cuddled up under a big duvet and everything, lovely aircon on, and your own little private room, and there was a fold-out couch in case like I needed a visitor to stay over. Satellite TV, they'd bring in a menu and all, and what food I wanted. And it turned out the next day, right, doctor came to see me. He said, yeah, I had swollen organs inside my gut, mainly the bowels, just flamed up. And he was saying it was probably some food poisoning that caused it, but he has medication to sort me out. And had me on an IV, and he said he wanted to keep me in for a couple of days because he wanted to monitor my bowel motion. They wanted to make sure that when I have a bowel motion that it was formed, it wasn't just squirting anymore. So I ended up staying like 2 days in the hospital. But then I got a phone call. I had a little bedside phone, and they were saying, Mr. Paul, we have a problem with your insurance. I was like, why, what's wrong? Oh, you need to contact them. You need to get sorted out with them. So I said, okay. So I called my dad, and I said, Dad, what's the story with the insurance? I'm in hospital in Bangkok. He says, I took you off that insurance. I was like, what? I was, yeah, I took you off just before you went away. You were out of work for a while. There's no point in having you in insurance, because when you're out of work, you just get like free medical care. I was like, all right, yeah, well, I'm in hospital now, man. And he goes, what's wrong? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, well, they say I'm going to be okay now, but like, I'm going to get hit with a big bill now. He goes, oh, don't worry, I'll send the money over. So like, my dad sent the money over for me, and it was a very hefty bill because it wasn't actually Bangkok National Hospital. It was Bangkok Nursing Home, a private nursing home. And I was in there for like 2 days, and I just had to pay everything. Like, it was just the price, the bill was, whoa, it was like really big. Like I got my pants pulled down basically, man. Even if I had probably some sort of backpacker insurance, now that you pay €100 before you go away, that probably would have covered it. Like, but the fact that I had nothing, and I'd been on the road for a good year and a half solid, with absolutely no medical insurance at all. Jesus, and I got into a few little scrapes, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, man, how am I still alive? How did I not get stretchered off the hospital, man? Jeez, it could have been a lot worse, man. I could have been in a coma, like, you know what I mean? I was on a couple of motorbike rides, drunken motorbike rides with other guys, like, nearly crashed. I was thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, man, imagine, like, if I got taken off, like, the casualty ward in a coma, like, with no insurance, man. Fuck. My family probably get a flight over just to pull the plug on me. Nah, they probably wouldn't. Anyway, the moral of the story is, when you come over here, it doesn't matter if it's heavy rain or not, always put insect repellent on. And if you get bitten, put Dengue balm on it, okay? They're two things you must always carry around with you. I always have them in my bag, always. Where's my bag? Look, I'll show you. Over here. Dengue balm always gets rid of the itch, burns it off. Actually, it's a lovely soothing sensation. It is when you put a bit of Dengue balm on your mosquito bite. Always have some handy on you. And look, mosquito spray, it's 70 baht in the Family Mart. Nothing. Spray it around your ankles as well. They love ankles. Do that. It's really not worth it. I'm telling you, if you just use them two things, you won't get dengue fever. Or if you get malaria, that's even worse, man. Then you're fucked. That's years of treatment. You're going to be really unwell. So, anyway, folks, I hope this video was a big caution to you all, and you follow my mistake very seriously. Okay? So, subscribe, please, for more videos. Do my very best to try and help you along the way. Okay? Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Any more questions, leave a comment down below, and I will promise I'll reply back to you. Just don't ask anything too personal, okay? Alright folks, have a good one, right? Keep at it.